Hi, this is part 2 of the Trunion Block in Fusion 360. So far what we have done is we created our object and we saved it. So now let's go ahead and create our orthographic view. So we're going to come up here to File, New Drawing from Design. Okay, we're going to make sure the unit is in inches and the sheet size is A11 by 8.5. We're going to say OK. Let this load. This can take a few minutes. Okay. So if I move my cursor over, I can see my front view. And that's the way it should be. Okay. If I look at my original block, you can see this is the front view. So that's what I see. Okay. But it's a little bit too small. So I'm going to come over here to scale. Let's bump that up. Let's go to half scale. Okay. We come up. I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to select its position and say OK. All right. To do the other views, I go up here to projected view. I select my parent view, the one I'm basing everything off of. I come straight up and click for my top view. Okay, come to the front and go to the right. Click again to create my front or my side and then say OK. All right, so there's my 3 views for the orthographic view. Okay. Now it's time to do the dimensions. And the first thing before you do the dimensions that we have done in the past, we need to add on. Okay. We need to make sure that people understand that in all these 3 views, this part right here is that circle. Okay. All features must line up and they need to be marked. Okay. So the first one we're going to do is actual center mark, showing the actual circles, fillets, holes, cylinders. Okay. So you want to click on where you actually see the circles. I'm just clicking right on that edge. This is also a circle that we see, an arc. So I click on that. Okay. So the other thing we have is center lines. Okay. So let's use this right here, this arc. If I just look at that front view, or the top view, I'm sorry, I can't tell if that is an arc. But so I need to mark it. So to do a center line, you got to select the 2 lines that create from that arc. So if I do this arc and come straight up, that's this mark or line. If I come over, come up and straight, that's this one here. So when I click on both, I get a center line. Okay. Same thing with this circle. It's right here. This edge comes straight down. So I want to make sure I hit that line. Okay, sometimes you have to zoom in. Okay, this one comes straight down, hits that line. And you get the center mark. Okay, so I do that for each one. Okay, and I do this one here. Now for this center line, because there is a center line here, it lines up with this edge. Now, because object lines are more important than center lines, I don't put one here. Okay, so that's it for our center lines. Now we just dimension as normal. Okay, so I'm going to go into dimension. Now you can't go into the here for reference. Okay, you need to put all these in into your title block. You figure that you used all these mentions to draw it. You're going to need all those to actually build it. Okay, so let's go with the big one here, the 6. And if I see the 2 extensions where they're pointing, I do the same thing. But I'm going to put them in the middle. Okay. Why? Because the top view and the front view share the length dimension. So I put them in here, I can see it for both both views. Okay, same thing for the top. This front, or not, I'm sorry, the height. The height in the front view is the same height in the side view. So I just go ahead and click on the 2 points that make that height and bring it here in the middle. Same thing, we have this little nub here. Bring that over. Okay. So that takes care of this one. This one, and did I do the thickness? No, I didn't. Okay. I did this one. So we got to do this arc. Okay. So if I can come here and bring it up just a little bit. Okay. Then we have these 2 points here. Okay. Bring it up right there. Because I always move these things around. Okay. So we got height, length, thickness. Thickness I can do right here because I want to group these things again together. I want to just pull it out just to have room. Okay. Let's see. Now the other dimensions we have here is for the circles. Okay. The only one really don't have is this one here. Okay. So we can do that. Here to the edge, to the center of the circle, but you can see there's a problem. Okay. Like I said, extension line should not go through dimensions. So this isn't a good place for it. Okay. So I'm going to delete that, and I'm actually going to put it here on the top view. Okay. Oops. Dimension. So that point and that point. Let's get it straight in here. There we go. Come on, straighten it out. There. I'm going to click on it, but then I'm going to take this guy, move it up. There we go. Just like that. This one I can move down a little bit. You're going to arrange it where it's nice and easy to read, but also put it where you don't have to search for it. Okay. So that takes care of this one, but now we got to do the circles here. So let's bring that down a little bit. Dimension. I'm going to hit this circle. Let's bring it up here. Okay. Extension lines and leader lines can move across each other. Okay. Now, since there's 2 of them, I could dimension 2 of them, but to shortcut, I'm going to double click on that dimension. That puts me in edit mode. And I can bring it over and say 2 times space. Enter. Okay. And that'll allow me to edit this one and say I have 2 circles with a diameter of a ½ inch, and that's why I get both of these done. Okay. Know the dimensions, how far they come across. So I'm going to hit the center point and this point right here. Bring it out. Let's get it centered. Okay. But you kind of notice that with the original is 3 3 points, 1.125, but this one says 1.13. It automatically rounds it. If we wanted to not round it, double click on that dimension, come over to precision, and we're going to go to 3 places and say close. So we can do that. As well as, since this is already out of my dimension here, I can move that to where it goes on the inside. Okay, and let's bring it in just a little bit. There we go. And we can move this one in too. You can get really picky with dimensions. Okay. So the other one we have is from the center point here to our point here. Okay, make sure that's straight. Okay. And again, I want to move it where those two arrows are lined up with each other. Just like that. There's one more. Center circle. Center. And come out. But you see we have a little problem here. Okay. Our extension line is cutting through the dimension lines. Okay. So one thing I can do to fix that is move this direction. Okay. And then I can move this endpoint up. So I did one side, I got to do the other side. Okay, so it's all even again. And we get the right dimension. Okay. All right, so let's get this fitted here. So I want to check, do I have all these numbers in? Okay, let's see. No, I'm missing one. This guy right here. So that one, and let's bring it up. Click. And then I'm going to move this down where those circles, the lines, kind of halfway meet. Okay. But notice there's no gap right here. So we got to move this up until there's a gap. Okay. And we got to get this thing straight. All right, don't fight me. It's going to fight me, isn't it? All right, let's try it again. Let's pick this point here first and then that point. Get it straight. There we go. Perfect. Now that lined up right where we wanted it to be. Said you can get real picky with this. Okay. So I'm looking at this. All my dimensions are evenly spaced. Oh, this one's not. Let's move this guy a little bit closer. There we go. Okay. No extension lines sticking out. No dimensions sticking out too far. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and save. Okay, when you save, don't change the title. Leave it as drawing. And save. Okay. So now you turn it in like we normally do in Google Classroom. Then you go up here to File. Okay, view details on the web. Okay, when this comes up, you're going to hear the share button. Hit copy and move that into Google Classroom. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.